Well, hello again to all the boys and girls out there in YouTube land watching. Georgia Beer Reviews back at you today with another one. And what I am looking at is the new Budweiser Black Lager. This is another collaboration with Jim Beam. Comes in at 7.1% alcohol by volume. Um, this particular beer is aged on 6-year Jim Beam bourbon barrel staves for a flavorful chocolate rye and toasted malt taste, a dark auburn color, an oaky aroma with coffee and chocolate notes, and a deliciously smooth finish. Very interesting that this is 7.1%. Black lagers are typically not that high. You're looking at between 4.5 and 5.5% for a black lager. So you're going to get the roasted barley malt character, a lot of those notes, but without the body of a porter or a stout. The interesting thing for me that is that this is such high alcohol. Will there be enough body to mask the alcohol, or will it be a boozy beer? The fact that it's aged on the Jim Beam bourbon staves is interesting as well because that will amp up the booziness for sure on the flavor. The best by date is March 27th of 2020, so well within the freshest date, guys. This is the fifth specialty beer that Budweiser has released. The first one was the Budweiser 1933 Repeal Reserve. Sorry for the glare there, guys. Amber Lager, 6.1%. That one is no longer around. The next in the lineup that they came out with was the Budweiser Freedom Reserve Red Lager. That one was 5.4%, no longer around. The third one that they came out with, which was the first one in collaboration with Jim Beam, was the Budweiser Copper Lager. This one is 6.2% ABV. This one is still around, and you may see the commercials with Charlize Theron in them at the bar. Still around. This may be a permanent addition to the Budweiser lineup. I'm not sure, but it is still around. It's been out for a while now, and this is one of the ones that you can still get from the Reserve series. After that, they came out with the Budweiser Discovery Reserve American Red Lager. This one is 5.0% ABV. I still see this one at some stores, although I don't know if they still make this one or not. The only one that I know for sure that they're still putting out that's pretty much everywhere around here is the Budweiser Copper Lager collaboration with Jim Beam. So now the fifth addition to this specialty series, the Black Lager. All right, let's get into it. It is a twist off, but got a bottle opener. Just go ahead and give it a crack and a pour. I'm using my Budweiser glass here. This is also the strongest of the Reserve series of the Budweiser lineup that they've been putting out here, 7.1. So it does have a nice deep amber color. Hard to tell maybe on camera, but when you hold it up to the light, there's definitely some nice amber notes on the appearance. Some nice streaming bubbles going up the glass. It poured with a very generous head. A lot of that has to do with the glassware I'm using. But very nice head on there. Tan colored, creamy looking head. All right, the aroma, getting a little bit of that roasted malt. To be honest, there's really not too much going on with the aroma. Little roasted barley malt, maybe a little bit of chocolate, caramel. Not picking up on anything, any bourbon barrel notes on the aroma. It does smell very pleasant. Not picking up on any booze either. 7.1% that's getting up there, but it doesn't smell boozy. It doesn't really smell like much of anything. The aroma is very, very light, which is kind of surprising. I was expecting the aroma to be quite pungent, honestly. All right. Definitely is a good looking beer in the glass. Look at the head going up the over the top of the glass there. Nice and creamy looking. So, not too much going on the aroma, but the aromas that are present are not offensive. They're very, very pleasant. So, without further ado, let's get into this brew. Cheers, guys. Mm, very nice. Getting the roasted barley malt, little caramel sweetness from that. Um, some nice toasted bread notes in the middle of the sip. A little bit of the bourbon notes are coming through on the palate. Wasn't getting anything on the aroma, but definitely a little bit of bourbon notes on the palate. Some vanilla, some woody notes from the barrel staves. Mm, very, very nice. The finish is actually it's relatively dry. It is crisp. The carbonation is on the medium side. The body is relatively light for this. Um, the alcohol is masked well, although it is boozy in the sense that I'm picking up the woody notes, the caramel, the vanilla, the toffee from the bourbon barrel staves that this beer was aged on. But it's not super alcoholic. It's not super warm and going down, and it's not boozy in that sense. But you do get those nice barrel notes. It's roasty, it's toasty. Like I said, you get the caramel, the vanilla, the toffee, a little bit of sweetness from that. It's not bitter by any means. If you're into balanced beers and you're looking for a little bit of bitterness on the finish to balance out the malt forward presentation with the little boozy characteristics that you're getting from the bourbon barrel staves, then maybe this beer isn't for you because there's definitely no bitterness with it. It's definitely malt forward from beginning all the way to the finish, malty, malty, malty. The body is not thin, but it's definitely not up there with your porters and your stouts. A little bit more drinkable than those styles. The black lagers typically have all of those roasty, toasty notes that you get with your porters and stouts, but they don't have that body, that heavy body, so you could drink a little bit more. But with the elevated alcohol and the barrel aging or the stave aging, it's kind of like a mashup of those two styles. It's really interesting. It's probably my favorite from the Budweiser Reserve series. I do like black lagers a lot. I like the richness and the toastiness of this from the roasted barley malt. And of course, I'm a big bourbon guy, so I love the boozy character, the bourbon notes that I'm picking up, the vanilla, the caramel, the woody notes on the palate. So just an excellent beer, guys. Another winner from Budweiser and Jim Beam. A great collaboration beer. I hope this beer is out for a while. Maybe it'll stick around like the Copper Lager has so far, and we'll be able to buy it for a long time to come. I'm really enjoying it. I'm going to give it a solid A. I think it's a 95 out of 100. It's definitely a winner. If you're into craft beer and you like bourbon barrel aged stuff, then you'd probably like this. I don't think this is necessarily going to convert a lot of people from craft beer, but this may be a good way for macro lovers to try something a little bit more crafty. I hope it sells well. I hope it's around for a while because I really enjoy it. So 95 out of 100. That'll do it for this beer review, guys. I've blabbed on long enough. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. And until next time, everybody, cheers.